Lahr, and here is a look at your week in the Finger Lakes. This week's episode is brought to you by the It's a Wonderful Run 5K coming up in Seneca Falls this Saturday. Visit itsawonderfulrun5k.com for more information and the race day schedule. It's a winter run like no other. We're live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, and I'm joined by Jim Sinicropi and Josh Durso.
Josh Durso.
Josh Durso. Josh and Josh.
Here we are.
How you guys doing this week?
Maybe I should step aside and we can call it the Jess and Josh show.
The Jess and Josh?
Jess and Josh. The Jess and Josh show.
We need our third J.
We're inching closer to Christmas.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
We're marching ever closer to it.
It's true. We are a week into December. Lots going on. Jim, you've been super duper busy with podcasts and getting into the basketball season.
Yeah.
And then you had the directors from the It's a Wonderful Run 5K up here last night.
Yeah, we talked about things that you need to know if you're running that. They're expecting more people than ever for the It's Wonderful Run 5K, more than there's ever been before. So what that final number is, we'll have to see, because people still register on race day, but I conservatively say at least 4,000.
That's wild.
And the weather looks okay. A lot of
people in Little Seneca Falls.
Yeah, it's great. It is a great weekend, and that's what a lot of the show, I guess, is going to focus on. Mm-hmm. When we get to the events, we'll break it down. Yeah, what's going on here in Bedford Falls.
Great. Well, what does the weekend's weather look like for us? Because we know it's the It's a Wonderful Life Festival, as well as the run.
Well, it's mostly sunny on Friday with a high near 34. That's pretty good. Partly cloudy overnight, getting down to about 24, so it'll be chilly. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, the main day of the 3-day event in Seneca Falls, and the day of the 5K, it's partly sunny with a high near 32, which is pretty good. Yeah. 30% chance of snow later into the day, so maybe we'll get some snow in the air when the race starts at dusk.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, and same thing overnight. Mm-hmm. Saturday, low of about 24, but this time the chance of snow, 30-40% chance of some snow in the air, nothing significant. Mm-hmm. Sunday, partly sunny, a little cooler with a high only near 28. And then starting out next week, it's more of the same except a little more clouds, mostly cloudy with a high near 34, a 30% chance of snow showers. So that is pretty much seasonable temperatures for this time of year.
Not bad.
Finally.
Yeah, not bad.
I know. Well, and hopefully, like you said in the podcast with them, they had that one year where there were those big chunky snowflakes, and so it would be nice. I feel like that
one
kind
year,
of adds to that
it was a winter storm blew through. I
remember that.
An hour and a half before the race started, and it was unbelievable. A lot of people stayed home. Yes. Because of the weather, but they still had thousands, and that was my favorite year. It wasn't a great year if you're a runner and you're worried, but that race isn't necessarily about running in terms of like getting your best time. And so that year was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal. It was the most Christmassy year ever.
Yeah, it does make for a Christmassy feel for sure.
Something that's not Christmassy though is murder.
Yes. Speaking of.
And then there was a homicide in Geneva.
Well, okay.
We're going to hand that over to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so that breaking news out of Geneva. A 38-year-old city resident was killed in a shooting that took place last night, Tuesday night, around 9:30 p.m. The victim was transported to Geneva General Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Not a lot of information out right now, unfortunately, but active homicide investigation. Geneva police are asking anyone with information to call them, email them, use their anonymous tip line, whatever necessary. They were going to be speaking today with some persons of interest, but they didn't have any specific information to really relay to the media yet.
Sad, really sad.
In some more interesting and less depressing news, we have an interesting look at local schools after a Stanford study looked at alternative ways to judge districts throughout the country. Instead of grading performance by annual test results, so how this particular grade did on this ELA test or this particular math test, they looked at how the average test results or the students improved over multiple years, over a period of 5 years. So what it wound up breaking down was that it kind of crosses the socioeconomic borders, and it gets into a scenario where you have some urban schools that are outperforming wealthy rural schools just because they may underperform in grade 3 ELA, but by the time they get to 8th grade, they've covered more ground and they've actually gotten 6 or more years of education packed into 5 years.
I love that.
So it's a different way to look at it instead of just kind of, well, these teachers are doing a poor job and that's that. So it's one of the many different ways to look at it.
That's
we also had the latest on the closure of the KFC Taco Bell in Seneca Falls. Fast food fans were pretty upset locally when they found out that place was
owned
closed.
by Pepsi. Pizza Hut that closed in Seneca Falls also owned by Pepsi, so the Pepsi places are kind of... That's why I drink Coke.
Yeah. Well, Pepsi is still superior to Coke. I mean,
is it?
It is.
Is it?
You know, Coke is more Christmassy.
It is.
You know, it's just like you don't
That's
see
just
like
because of the branding, though.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. Branding. I mean, let's face it, they're both just sugary carbonated drinks. The branding, obviously, for Coca-Cola has resonated with me in my life to make me prefer it. I like Pepsi out of a fountain, like at a restaurant. That's fine, but if I have a can of it in front of me, I really don't like it.
Really?
I prefer the Coke, but I actually prefer like none of it now because it's not very good. Not very healthy.
That's right.
It isn't.
It's not good.
But,
you
know, not a lot of things are very healthy for us now, unfortunately.
I know.
All the sugary things that we're going to be eating, consuming over the next several weeks leading up to Christmas, this weekend at the It's a Wonderful Life Festival. None of that stuff is good for you either, but that's not going to stop any of us from partaking.
No.
Right?
Don't think so.
Anything's good in moderation, I think.
Right.
That's right. Balance.
Except for crack.
Yeah.
Also, drugs in general,
things.
I'll say, you know, moderation or not, probably not really that great for you.
Right.
We also have the complete coverage from all the meetings that have taken place this week. Romulus Planning Board met, controversial incinerator project down in Romulus, of course, and then Seneca Falls Town Board last night.
I thought there wasn't going to be public comments at the Seneca Falls meeting last night, but there was.
There was.
Okay. Yeah.
There was. Greg Lazaro, Supervisor Greg Lazaro, has not made that rule since the last time he did, earlier this spring when he drew a little bit of fire from opponents who felt not really a good idea.
I remember that, yeah.
We got podcasts coming up tomorrow. I have Chris Lajewski from the Montezuma Audubon Center, and myself and Jackie Augustine will be back with a debrief podcast on Friday, and we will be digging into a lot of these interesting topics that have been popping up around the Finger Lakes.
Yeah, it's a great show. If nobody's watching the debrief, I love it. I look forward to every episode.
Awesome.
So we'll be here. And, of course, lots more on fingerlakes1.com. Tap the app, download it, get to it.
Check it multiple times a day because there's new content every
hour.
Every hour, yeah, really.
Every hour.
It's crazy.
I know, you guys are beasts. Beast mode newsmen. All right, let's check in and see what this weekend holds for us here in the Finger Lakes. Of course, it's the Wonderful Life weekend in Seneca Falls. Jim, you can probably share more than I can share because you've been, you're here and you've been involved with it for many, many years.
Well, Josh, I know what I have planned. We've produced a video.
Yep.
So you'll see me out and about with a video camera and try and wave and say hello and look merry, and there's a good chance you'll make the video. What's your plans for coverage?
So we're going to, later on today, actually, we're going to be posting the complete schedule. So if you want to know every single event, and God, it looks like there's probably like 60 to 70 maybe sub-events.
It's online at therealbedfordfalls.com as well if you want to see it right now.
So we'll get that up, and then, of course, we'll be covering these individual events throughout the weekend. Photo galleries, video. We probably are going to do a little Facebook Live session at some point on Saturday. Possibly around the time of the race. I'm working out the logistics.
Good luck with the bandwidth required for that. If everybody's going to be on their phones.
Yeah, we'll see. We might be able to work something out. But lots of events, it's pretty much every business in downtown Seneca Falls is participating in some kind of like themed event. So even the post office is...
you can get your post stamp for the Bedford Falls post stamp.
Exactly. That's cool.
For your Christmas cards. There's
the screening of It's a Wonderful Life, of course, that's always a popular one.
Seneca Community Players do a radio version live. There's a chili cook-off.
Yep.
I mean, the all 4 actors are going to be here at the same time for the first time from the film. You're talking about the kids, Zuzu and company, and Janie and
underrated. The sheer volume of like craft and sort of like the flea market side of what this event kind of
There's a
turns
lot of that.
into. Tons of that.
Get some shopping done.
There's a night there you go to the tent for Nick's Pottersville, which is like more. I think that's kind of new. It's like a nightlife deal with a DJ and some
what a good idea.
alcoholic beverages after hours under the tent. There really is just so much going on, and like I challenge anybody to find a more Christmassy place in the world. That, unless you're going up to the North Pole with Santa, but they're busy, so that's probably not very Christmassy.
Don't go there; they're busy.
Then Seneca Falls this weekend.
Yeah,
like honestly, the most Christmassy place in the world. Everybody from the residents to the shop owners and the volunteers to everybody that comes is just in a great mood. It's noticeable and it's crazy. There's a lot of merriment.
There is. The parade is always neat. I did get to meet a couple of the characters a few years ago.
Yeah,
it is a really neat.
It's a really unique thing.
If you're feeling competitive, cinnamon bun eating contest at Cafe XIX on Saturday at 11 o'clock. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, one of the most difficult things to do in all the sports is it used to be to like win the Triple Crown in baseball, but now it's to win the cinnamon eating contest and the 5K. It's never been done.
Oh, so you have to do
really
both.
interesting.
Probably never will be done.
Hey, you never know. I
was going to say that would be an interesting.
How about one of you enter the cinnamon eating contest, and I'll come video it, and we'll post it on next week's show.
Okay, yeah, Josh will do that.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to be a great weekend here in Seneca Falls.
The best.
Yes. And not too nasty of weather either. It'll be cold, but bundle up.
It'll be perfect
fine.
for the event. And I have a feeling it'll be perfect. And like I said, there's a 30 to 40% chance of snow, that will accumulate to any great degree, but in the air. Yeah. And I have a feeling that'll happen. I just have a feeling. It always tends to. So, and that really sets off the whole scene.
It does.
Yep.
Sets the tone.
But you got to check out the schedule of events either when we post it on Finger Lakes One or at therealbedfordfalls.com. Or you can go over to itsawonderfulrun5k.com and check out the video from last year, which will get you going. That video has been seen 7,000 times on YouTube and 34,000 times on Facebook.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and it was on ABC and NBC News last year.
CBS.
And CBS.
Yeah, NBC. No.
Oh, that's
El Roker
right.
was in town last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll get more national footage of this year, I bet, at some point.
Probably.
Awesome. All right. Well, if you're not going to be doing that, there are a couple other things going on. The Dickens Christmas continues this weekend in downtown Skaneateles. Also, the Red Cats and Santa Hats event is on Saturday from noon till 5 p.m. at Hazlitt's Red Cat Cellars in Naples. Sounds fun. Christmas in the Park in the Village Square in Hammondsport on Saturday night. And it's Downtown Ithaca Ice Fest 2017 on Friday and Saturday with a national ice carving competition and chowder cook-off in the Commons. More events, of course, at our community calendar at fingerlakes1.com.
Yeah, that Ithaca event's pretty cool, too, because you walk around and see different ice carvings. So, and I think that actually starts on Thursday. I think that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, if you're in town for the wonderful weekend, you can take a half-an-hour drive down the lake to Ithaca, walk around there for the Ice Fest.
Yeah.
You know, then on Saturday, do the whole Seneca Falls deal. And it really is a great weekend to be here in the Finger Lakes.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, it's really the last weekend before, I bet you everybody's busy the next couple weekends.
Oh, yeah.
2 weekends before Christmas after this, and then Christmas
shopping.
on Monday.
Yeah.
It's like the official kickoff of the holiday grind.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. All right. Well, let's jump into photos. We had a lot of photos coming this
We
week.
have so many photos.
So it's probably going to be very challenging.
Because we've been
It's
low,
insane.
and then this week all of a sudden, matter of fact, Josh held back. We held back on like 5 or 6 more photos that
Wow.
we haven't posted yet because we want to make sure we have them for next week's show because this show could have been all photos.
Wow.
So,
All right. Well, thanks everyone for sending them in. Let's just jump right into the first one. An interesting view through the grass while looking across Sodas Bay on Friday morning in our first photo by Chris Trine. That is a very cool shot.
And that one's taller than we can fit, so there's more to it. If you go on our website and click on photos, it's a good one.
Beautiful. Diane Dersch saw this strange sight at Montezuma Wildlife Refuge on Tuesday morning. Not sure what was going on, but this fellow was pushing the canoe through the wetlands.
Huh.
What was going on
I
there?
have no idea.
That is a very interesting shot. From Mike Sargent, Monday's late afternoon sun lit up this scene in Victor.
That is
Oh, wow.
something different.
That is something
wild.
different. We
The
don't...
contrast in that photo was wild.
Yeah, that's really cool. Love that. Here's one of the coolest photos you'll see by Chris Trine, a different perspective from the Sodas Pier during last Tuesday night's sunset, while some wave action provided an interesting view for the evening colors.
That what's going on there? Somebody skip a rock?
Nope. So a wave is hitting into the pier, and you're seeing the splash up, and the camera's right down on the pier at pier level, and you're looking
kidding.
west.
Really?
Okay, I thought
Really?
initially that somebody just skipped a rock.
It totally looks like that.
So
I
what you see in
agree.
the foreground, right in the front, is the concrete of the pier.
Right,
Oh.
it just looks like smooth water.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It totally looks like someone just skipped across a rock across the water.
Chris delivered right there.
Yeah, that's really neat. Beautiful timing.
Yeah.
All right, from Lori Bonacci, strolling along Seneca Lake State Park on Sunday, revealed these December dandelions in Geneva. Oh, man.
Tough to see, but there are actually a couple dandelions nestled down there.
Yeah, that's taller than it is wide, so that means we can't show it all on the perspective of your video player window. But
Yeah.
it's definitely cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, dandelions still showing their petals. I guess are they called petals?
I don't know.
No, that's a good question.
I would assume because it is a weed.
A real survivor
Yeah.
of the dandelion
That's
community.
right. That's right. All right, this stunning shot was captured by Steve Eichhorn Friday night near the lake shore in Canandaigua.
Great.
Beautiful.
Spectacular.
I feel like we've seen so many gorgeous, like, colorful skies the last month and a half. Beautiful. All right, not quite a full moon-filled Saturday's sky as seen here from Clifton Springs in this photo by Shelley Lannon. Moon
ready for
pictures
some
are
moon.
so hard because they don't do it justice from what you see in person. But
Well, you know what
that
you
moon
need
was
is a
amazing.
telescope.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You do. But that's really cool. I love how the branches show through, kind of are showcased on the other side of the moon. Beautiful.
Supermoon.
Chris Williams captured another early evening as seen last Friday as the sun was setting over the pier in Canandaigua. That's a beautiful shot, too.
Yep, all closed up for the winter, no boats.
Yep. And a cool December Saturday night in the town of Barrington offered a tranquil moment across a farm pond in this photo by Nancy L. Wright.
Love that
a good
picture.
Oh my gosh.
That one needs an inspirational quote overlaid over it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well done, Nancy.
That's
awesome.
Exactly.
Wow.
What?
Are you going to just
I'm trying
bust
to
it out?
think of an inspirational quote, but
It's not coming to you.
No.
It'll come to you. Another gorgeous December sunset captured at Deep Run Cove in Canandaigua by Eileen Best. Oh my gosh.
that one needs an inspirational quote overlaid over it too.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Wow. All right, and a stunning silhouette shot from Sampson Veterans Cemetery in Romulus by Rachel Burkholder. Oh
That one needs an
my.
inspirational
Rachel.
quote.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Jeez.
nice. Rachel prefaced that when she sent it in as she doesn't normally like to take silhouettes, but she couldn't resist this one.
That is beautiful. Oh, man. Huh. All right. The full super moon as seen through Brad Timerson's telescope.
Telescope. That's how you take a picture of the moon.
There it is. Taken after some clouds moved out. Yeah, there you go. There's your telescope picture.
That's how you do it.
That's, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The fullest of full moons right there.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. Beautiful. All right. From Peter Blackwood, the supermoon over Twisted Rail in Canandaigua as it took to the sky.
It's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Right after the week we said we don't get pictures like that very often.
And now we have to. And
Now, who's that image by again?
This one is by Peter Blackwood.
I know, because his name's plastered on it. I just always am surprised. Like, I understand that maybe some of them do it to make sure the image isn't taken and using.
Right.
And they can do, and you can do whatever you want with the images you send us, but I think it takes away from the picture. I would put that way down in the lower left.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, is this one that's longer to Jim than it is
a little bit,
because it
but
looks
that's
like the
pretty
reflection of the moon right there.
Yeah, you see more moon in the full version on our site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. I love that. All right, another from Diane Dersch. Sunday night's sunset was a beautiful display of color over the Seneca Lake Yacht Club.
It was, and this one definitely shows more too, a lot more.
Yeah.
There's picnic tables and below it, and more sky above it.
Love it.
It's a gorgeous picture by Diane.
Yes, and another from Nancy L. Wright as the sun breaks through the haze on a frosty Monday morning in Yates County. Oh my!
Primo.
That was a really good picture.
Like that one a
Oh
lot.
my goodness! How are we gonna pick
It's
all
a lot.
of these?
If you win this week, you earned it, boy.
Yikes! All right, another from Shelley. Did we do that one? No, another from Shelley Landon. This is pretty cool. The duck landed right in the reflections on the Keuka Outlet on Sunday.
The buildings in downtown Penn Yan, yeah.
Here she is trying to take a nice reflection photo, and bam, this duck just pops in, ruins everything.
Them are ducks.
Hello, Shelley. That's cool. All right, finally from Rachel Burkholder, the falls by the old mill at Robert Truman State Park was beautiful as the sun shone behind it late Sunday afternoon.
That's perfect.
Love that.
Perfect.
We don't see a lot of waterfall photos this time of year.
No.
That's
Wow.
good.
Oh my gosh.
What do
I
you
don't
think?
think I can choose. Can I be the tiebreaker? I don't want to choose.
You can if we have one. I know mine.
Okay, you go ahead. If you know yours,
Yeah,
go
you
right
go.
ahead.
I like the frosty scene in Yates County by, who was it? Nancy L. Wright. I really like that one.
I was really stuck between a few of them, but I think the photo of the supermoon over Twisted Rail, the night shot.
The Phil Blackwood?
Yeah, was the
Peter Blackwood.
Peter Blackwood, yeah, was the winner for me personally. Tough.
Oh, man. All
So you
right.
gotta choose
now
one of
I'll
those
You gotta choose one of those.
Thank you for narrowing it down. I'm so indecisive anyway. Oh, boy. I think because we chose the other photo last week, I'm going to go with Jim's pick.
Okay, there we go.
They were both beautiful. I mean, I really can't go. But we haven't seen any photos like this year. That frost is just... And the trail,
And again,
and
it's
the
an
sun
even
in the background, and the silos.
It's even
and,
better in its full glory because
Yeah.
it's taller than it
There's
is.
a lot of detail.
Yeah. That definitely was one that stuck out to me this week. But they all were just so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for sending those in.
Good job, Nancy. All right, that you won the top photo in a week where we had 17 photos. Was it?
Yeah, 17.
A whole page full. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you'd like to send your photos from across the region, click the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right-hand side of our homepage here at FingerLakes1.com. Yeah, that was really tough. I'm glad you guys went for that because I wouldn't have been able to narrow it down. All right, Jim, what do we have going on in sports this weekend?
The Bills lost to the Patriots again, so now they're back to 6-6, and they'll have another chance to bounce back when they host the Colts. They better bounce back.
Yes, come on.
We're running out of weeks here in the regular season. They just got to get in the playoffs for the first time in 16 years, whatever it is. It's been
a lot of years.
Time. 1 o'clock kick.
Too many.
It's on CBS. Anybody watched the game last week saw Rob Gronkowski do the cheapest of cheap shots and give a guy a concussion for the Bills, Javian White. And the NFL came down with a 1-game suspension, which is it's just like silly. I don't know if anybody remembers when Albert Hainsworth on Thanksgiving Day stepped on a guy's face with his cleat when his helmet was out. He got 5 games. Rob Gronkowski assaulted. He assaulted Tre'Davious White when he was on the ground and defenseless and gave him a concussion. Blood was coming out of his mouth. 1-game suspension. that, and people wonder why we think that the Patriots receive special favor from the league office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, the Cuse looked good last night against UConn at Madison Square Garden. Boy, nothing feels better than beating UConn. Especially at Madison Square Garden, and it's old Big East stuff, and we really took it to them. And this team, Syracuse team, is fun and young, and I think they're just going to even get better as the year goes on. They hit the court again on Saturday against Colgate at 2 o'clock in the Carrier Dome. And then they have a whole week off until they go to Georgetown the following week on weekend. Cornell basketball is off for final exams. They'll be back next Saturday against Longwood at 2 o'clock on the road. And then high school basketball is in full swing. Finger Lakes 1 will be in Clyde on Thursday for Gananda versus Clyde Savannah. I'm going to call that game along with Kevin Sharp. That's going to be on FL1 Radio. And then the full video restream live at 11 o'clock Thursday night. Friday night, Miners at Newark. It's a rematch of the 2017 Class B championship game that Miners won. It's the biggest rivalry in the Finger Lakes East as of late, and one of the biggest rivalries in the Wayne Finger Lakes leagues. Brendan Harrington and Tony Robinson will have the call on that. We'll have Upstate Hoops podcast some point Sunday morning. And then Monday night of next week, we got South Seneca Girls at Minders, and that should be Dave Barnick and Mike Alessio on the call there. There'll be another radio broadcast with a video replay. So, yeah,
awesome.
Things are really busy. There's just stacking up here. But
I know.
Good weekend of sports.
Yeah, 'tis that time of year, high school basketball. Yep, great. Well, how are we doing on timing? Because we did get started a little bit later.
We have about 2 minutes to chat.
Oh, okay. All right, well, real quick, let's talk favorite pre-Christmas tradition.
Yeah, pre-Christmas is if, something that happens in the weeks leading up to Christmas. Like people might say your favorite tradition is to open up presents on Christmas Eve. Doesn't count.
Right.
Pre-Christmas is in
weeks leading up to a true activity.
Right. Anybody?
I know mine.
Stumped? Okay, go ahead.
Baking.
Baking like cookies?
Yeah, I am surprised I haven't started yet.
I know, you usually bring us some cookies.
Yeah.
Next week maybe?
Sure
next Wednesday?
No, probably not next Wednesday.
See?
Probably the following. But I bake a ton. I used to bake a lot more, but I still bake a ton. So that's probably my favorite. And I'll, sometimes I'll get the kids in. Don't worry, they eat their own cookies that they make. But they that's always like special time with Mom, and they like it for, one batch and then they're over it. So, yeah. That's probably my favorite.
I don't even think that I have a particular
you might be too young
tradition.
To develop traditions,
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
I like to think that I've at least lived long enough to have experienced something that could be called a tradition. But I just think I just enjoy the entire season too much, so I don't really hone in on one specific
I guess
event.
I'm going to kind of cop out on it too. I don't have a necessary tradition, but I like to put on the Christmas music while I'm cooking dinner, like for these, for these 2 or 3 weeks. I just like it. We decorated the tree last Sunday night.
Yeah.
With Christmas music on and whatnot.
Yeah, tree decorating definitely.
Is the Christmas stuff fully out and done now?
I've never ever in a long time have I taken as long as I have this year to put all the decorations. Usually I do it on Black Friday, but maybe who knows when I'll find time, but we'll get it done.
Yeah,
but,
same.
So that's it. That's been 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy the show, click like, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll be back live next Wednesday. Until then, enjoy your beautiful Finger Lakes weekend.
Yep, It's a Wonderful Life in Seneca Falls. Come see us in Bedford Falls.
Yes.